Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thanks again for joining me here. I hope you're having a phenomenal day. Quick look again here at Solana, double checking some important stuff. We saw a recent sell-off here, but that was obviously taken care of pretty quickly here with Bitcoin recovering quite nicely. Keep in mind this is not perfect. Bitcoin is exuding some qualities of a bearish type of pennant pattern that's typically break to the downside. So I would be mindful not to be too crazy with longs. However, if we break through this descending trend line, we might have some legs to stand on here for Solana. We're going to look at that and a few other key factors. So welcome aboard. Hope you can learn something today. If you want to become a better trader, absolutely CryptoCache.tech is a site, link down below. Also make sure you join us over with BitUnix. They're a phenomenal exchange. So you get some really nice rewards here if you use my link to register. So here on the daily time frame, or more so the last week's worth of trading, we can see liquidation levels pretty concentrated about 145. There is approximately $1 billion worth of liquidation at right there exactly at 145 for Solana. So it would make sense for that price action to get swept, right? However, we want to just be mindful and vigilant that we don't just take longs arbitrarily just because of that one thing, right? That's not the only reason why to take a trade. However, we can see, again, pretty solid amount of liquidation there, close to about $1 billion worth of liquidation at 145. So there's not a lot of other liquidation levels in the larger time frames that we can see, which is good. Less liquidation on the downside pretty much implies that where price action is bottomed out. Okay, so a lot of cool things there. We can also see this 120 mark or 121 holding like a champion here as a potential double bottom here. Okay, so decent chance we do see further upside from Solana. Just bear in mind if Bitcoin does pull back, there's definitely a possibility we're going to see something happen there. Again, for Solana, keep in mind though too as well, Solana's performing moderately well here today in the last 24 to 48 hours compared to Bitcoin. But we're still below this descending trend line. Until we break above that, we do not want to get too crazy with longs. Taking a look here, we're testing the 50 and the 200-day SMA right now at 138. And I've talked about this previously at 138 level being somewhat of a point of contention. We can also see this upper range at 148. A big, strong level of liquidation, okay? So, or sorry, not liquidation, I apologize, a big, strong volume accumulation, okay? And when we see that, and there's a liquidation level just below it, my speculation is we're gonna reject off of 148 if we come back up to that level. That would be honoring this descending trend line and essentially bringing the price action down lower. So I think if you're gonna consider securing profit, 145 is a definite good area to secure some profits or to possibly consider a short, okay? Just some kind of things to think about there. I'm gonna go ahead and mark the chart here. Just go ahead and set alert right around 144. So when we take a look here at the important stuff, we're still under 50 on the RSI, but we keep retesting that. We can also see stochastic is swinging up here with money flow index kind of plateauing as well, and a MACD, MACDFU, right? Kind of one of those things where we've seen the price action bounce off that 26-day EMA. So generally when you see that, those are decent signs, right? They're not fantastic, but they're decent. So for the most part, I would say that daily time frame here for Solana is looking better than most. However, we got to recognize too, we haven't broken through the descending trend line. Until we do, I don't think we should presume that we're back on track. However, we have a shorter term trend line here, of course, which I can tighten up a little bit there, and we can kind of see that we're testing that right now. So breaking above that could give us enough momentum to get to that 145 mark. If we do take a look here though, on the 4-hour time frame, we're over 50 on the RSI, and if you compare this with Bitcoin, Bitcoin's getting rejected there. So it's generally a favorable sign. So if we do see the price action staying over 50, holding above that level, there's a solid chance we're going to see another push to the upside. Again, Bitcoin kind of getting stunned out at that 56.5, that's a previous resistance level. There's a solid chance we could see the price pull back. If that is the case, we can see stochastic or MACD correction is converging, stochastic swinging up. We got a lot of reasons here as to why the price action looks pretty decent here for Solana. We're establishing higher lows as well, and we just need another higher high to be able to break this trend. Okay, so again, pretty good stuff here, but for the most part, until we break above 145, right in that range, we're not going to be able to see the price action continue much further up. Again, a lot of resistance in the 148 area, so just be mindful of that. When we're traveling in this green zone, so to speak, we can recognize there's going to be a lot of range-bound activity. And Bitcoin's performing very similar in its own range too. Let's take a look here at the Ichimoku cloud and call it a day for you folks. We can see we are trending towards some positive, but we're not quite there yet. In other words, we can see the conversion lines above the baseline, which is good. It gives us momentum, which we can see here with a strong, strong candle at 1 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Isn't that cool? I'm glad we slept through that one. Taking a look here at the lagging span that's free and clear-ish. It's getting close. And then we got the price action just above the cloud or right at the top side. So while it's not perfect, we're getting very close. So again, a closure at 140 or higher today would signify potential for push towards that 145, 148 range. But again, we're going to see a lot of resistance at 148 is my personal opinion. If we get to that level, we might be rejecting off that descending trend line. So again, as I've mentioned before, closing above 148 would be solid. That's what we're ultimately looking for to get that confirmation that we can probably go long with a lot more confidence. Again, a lot of it hinges on Bitcoin bottoming out though, and we don't know if Bitcoin's bottom is in yet. Okay, so just throwing it out there. Be mindful of those things. All in all, though, Solana is showing much more strength if we compare Solana chart to Bitcoin chart. Solana is establishing much higher lows than Bitcoin is, and it's exuding significantly stronger response to the downtrend than most other coins right now. So keep that in mind. Definitely looking strong. I think Solana has good chance, good probability of further price action further up. But we just got to kind of be patient here. This 0.618 level is holding as a resistance for the moment. Okay. All right, folks. Thanks again so much for watching. I hope you learned something today. Have a great rest of your day. We'll look forward to seeing the next one. Take care.